Hello everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the Viet Vegan because I'm Viet and I'm vegan, and you might recognize me from my own channel, the Viet Vegan, on YouTube as well, but I partnered with the Toronto Vegetarian Association to bring you 3 super easy, super delicious cold lunch sort of meals. If you don't know about the TVA, the Toronto Vegetarian Association is a great nonprofit organization that helps educate people in Toronto and the greater Toronto area about how to go veg and vegan and how to live a healthy plant-based life. That's pretty awesome. You can help support the Toronto Vegetarian Association by becoming a member. I'll leave a link in the corner as well as down below to veg.ca. So I have 3 different meals from you. One of them is a sandwich that are super easy, super delicious. You can prep ahead of time to save you time in the morning, and that way you can stay on track being vegetarian and vegan and enjoying some delicious plant-based food. So let's get cooking. If you feel a little intimidated by this first little spread, it takes about 15 minutes of prep, but you have 5 or 6 meals ready to go once you make this. So this is meal prep number 1, soba noodle lunch with peanut sauce and marinated tofu. It's a very long title, but I swear it's really delicious. We're gonna start off with marinating the tofu over here. So I have about 1 block of extra firm tofu. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some tamari. If you haven't heard of tamari, it's kind of like soy sauce, but there's no gluten in it. Soy sauce is typically fermented soy and gluten, whereas tamari is just fermented soy. So this recipe is actually gluten-free for those who are interested. You just need gluten-free buckwheat noodles for it to be like totally gluten-free. I'm gonna start off with some tamari. Then I've got some apple cider vinegar here. This will add a little bit of acidity to make it, you know, balanced and delicious. Here's a little bit of water, just to dilute things a little bit so it's not just super, super strong. And here I've got some maple syrup, and this will add that kind of like smoky, sweet sort of flavor. And you just kind of take this and you mix it all up so that all the stuff is coated. You can prep this ahead of time and you just leave it in your fridge marinating. The longer you leave it in, the more flavorful it gets. All right, so now time for the peanut sauce. Just fair warning, this makes a lot of sauce. You're gonna be really, really good for about like at least 4 to 5 meals. If you want the full ingredient amounts, I'll leave a link down below where you can see it on my blog, thevietvegan.com. So let's make the sauce. Starting off, we're gonna have some peanut butter. Now this is some natural peanut butter, straight up peanuts blended together. You can use whatever peanut butter brand that you like. We don't want any other random additives. If you have a food processor, this is something that you could use to make this sauce, but we're gonna use a hand blender today. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna add is some more tamari. This will add some umami flavor and saltiness, and you just kind of want to mix it together just a little bit to kind of get things going. Otherwise things are gonna get a little splattery. It looks real gross right now, but I swear it's gonna come together. It'll be fine, it'll be great. So we're gonna add also some water. We've got some paprika. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. We've got 3 cloves of minced garlic. If you don't like garlic, you can leave it out. If you don't want to use fresh garlic, you can use garlic powder, but the fresh garlic is gonna give it a little bit extra flavor. And then I'm gonna add ginger powder. You can also use fresh ginger in this. I didn't have any, so ginger powder it is. So we're just gonna quickly mix this together. And this is a hand blender, and I'm just gonna start doing some mixing. Okay, so that's pretty thick for sauce. We're gonna dilute it some more with some lemon juice. This is about 3/4 cup. And there you have it, a lot of sauce. So let's set aside our sauce. Let's start making the rest of the dish. You can cook a bunch of noodles ahead of time and put them in portioned sort of containers. But what I like to do is I kind of like to assemble kind of fresh in the morning. It's really up to your preference. We've cooked our soba noodles. We prepared some veggies here. I have some pre-shredded cabbage because I'm lazy and I don't feel like shredding a whole head of cabbage. Cut up cucumber, some carrots. So we're gonna start with our soba noodles. If you are prepping these ahead of time for your lunches, give them a little toss in some toasted sesame oil so they don't stick together, or you can toss it in a little bit of the sauce. But if you're gonna have these cold, just give these a little rinse in cold water. And then, like I said, cover in a little bit of oil. We're going to add in our carrots, some cabbage for extra crunch, some cucumber, I'm just gonna add on the side. So we're gonna add our tofu, and then drizzle it in some peanut sauce. So the next no heat meal that we're going to prep ahead of time are a deconstructed sushi roll. So if you want to like make full-on sushi, I mean, you can take all these ingredients and put them in a sushi roll. I'm lazy, I don't wanna do that. So we start off with some rice. Now this is not your average traditional sushi rice. This is just regular white rice because sushi rice is kind of expensive. So I've got some steamed rice here. So we have our rice going. Next thing we're gonna prepare is our mayo. You can add sriracha to this. You can add cayenne pepper. But what I like doing is chipotle powder. I'm gonna grab mayo. This is probably about like a tablespoon and a half. And then I'm gonna sprinkle in some chipotle powder. Stir it on up. And there you have chipotle mayo. Make sure you use obviously vegan mayo. There's different brands that you can buy, but this is one that I've made ahead of time. So if you want the recipe for that, I'll leave the link down below, or you can click and watch my video in the corner from my channel. Set that aside. So let's assemble our bowl. We're gonna add in some cucumber here. So we're gonna add our avocado here. We're gonna add our protein with some edamame. So you can also add some fried tofu or your favorite vegan chicken if you want to, but I'm just gonna go with some straight old edamame. So you put your mayo in the Ziploc bag. You get it in one corner. You snip the corner. You go to town. You're gonna add a little extra flavor if you want to. This is some toasted sesame seeds. And then all you have to do is you bring one of those little soy sauce packets, or you can put it in a little container on the side. That's, you know, you do you. I eat it with some nori. So this is some packaged roasted nori on the side. If you want, you can get the unsalted kind, the healthier kind, the raw kind. You do you. You can just stir everything up. You can spoon it inside the nori and eat it like a taco. This is probably one of my favorite lunches. It's super filling because the avocado has lots of healthy fat. You've got some protein from the edamame, good old carbs from the rice. So the third no heat lunch that we're gonna make is a BLT. Who doesn't love a classic BLT? And now you can have it, but vegan. We have vegan butter, which is vegan basil here. There's also different brands like Earth Balance, Melt. We have some vegan mayo, which as I mentioned before, I made another video, so if you wanna watch that, over there. You can also buy that store-bought as well. There's Vegenaise and Hellmann's, carefully crafted. Look on the label. If it says that there's egg in it, then just don't buy it. And then we have bread, obviously. Most bread is vegan friendly, but you know, just take a little double check. Sometimes there's honey in there and we don't really want that. For our bacon component, we'll be using some tempeh. Now, if you don't know what tempeh is basically fermented soybeans kind of like patted down into like a weird patty. There's nothing quite like this in terms of texture for like a meat equivalent. This is not a bacon substitute. Do not eat this thinking that it's bacon. It's just a savory, stick form of protein that is delicious in a BLT. We're preheating our pan. So let's go with 4 pieces for our sandwich. So we got our slices of bread. We'll get some butter. We're gonna mayo the other side. We're going to add a piece of lettuce that we've washed and spun ahead of time. Some tomato, a little flippy flip. If you don't like tempeh, you can use tofu. There's also pre-made products that are supposed to be like vegan bacon as well. We're just gonna add these to our sandwich. And then, sandwich! There you go, a BLT. You put this in your container and you have a good, delicious lunch ready to go. And there you have it. 3 different delicious vegan meals that you can make for no heat lunches. We have our sandwich, we have our soba noodle bowls with lots of tofu, different veggies to keep things kind of interesting, and soba noodles, and of course that luscious peanut sauce on top. We have our avocado sushi-esque deconstructed bowls over here. These are really, really easy. You can make them ahead of time. You can prep the ingredients. I mean, like with this one, I just kind of cook the rice overnight, and then in the morning I just put it in a bowl, pop all the other stuff in, and I'm good to go. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you find these delicious. You try these at home. If you do, let me know. Comment down below. Tag me on social. I'm the Viet Vegan on every single platform, and you can also tag Toronto Vegetarian Association. It's Toronto Veg on Instagram and on Twitter. Always check out the TVA website, which is veg.ca, for lots of great resources for how to go vegan, for living vegetarian, vegetarian kids, all that kind of stuff. And of course, there's lots of different vegan places to eat at in Toronto as well.